Good morning and good evening. We have today two teams for the round of 16, the 8th of finals match of the Inter-University Law Debate Tournament 2026, 9th edition organized by the Corax Foundation. This is a match between Jigme Wangchuck School of Law in Bhutan and the University of Chile in Santiago de Chile. So I'm together with my colleagues, Ana Maria Urbanova and Mr. Mario Sanchez Cortez Macias. So welcome to my colleagues as well.
Thank you very much, and all the best for this 8th final match for the students. I look forward to it.
So the two teams got the topic a week ago. This is their fourth match in the competition. So now we are in the final phase, and we'll ask them to introduce themselves, of course, and we thank as well the judge for watching the match and assessing this prestigious match of the competition as well. So I would like to ask each student, of course, alternatively to introduce themselves. I will start with Miss Javiera Loyola Alvarez in Santiago. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Javiera Loyola. I'm from the University of Chile and I'm on my 5th year. I hope we all have the best debate and I hope we see you again.
Thank you and welcome. We have in Bhutan Miss Sonam Yujayong Laden. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Sonami Younghaden, and I'm doing my undergrad here at JSW Law, where I am a third year student right now. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. We have as well in Santiago Mr. Alejandro Mundaca. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Alejandro Mundaca. I am in my 4th year of law student at the University of Chile, and I wish you all good luck.
Thank you and welcome. We have as well in Paro in Bhutan, Euden Dema. Welcome.
Hello everybody, I am Yuden Dema and I am currently pursuing my undergrad here at JSW Law School, and I'm currently a 3rd year law student. Thank you.
Thank you, welcome. We have as well in Santiago Miss Catherine Reyes. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Catherine. I'm currently preparing my final exam in the career. I'm very excited to meet the opposite team and see the judges again.
Thank you, welcome. And third and last member of the team in Bhutan, Miss Kinley Yongdon. Welcome.
Hello everyone. I am Kile Youngdon and I'm a 2nd year undergrad law student here at JSW School of Law, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful match. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to greet as well the coach. One coach is in the room, Mr. Cheering. Lekis Cheering, welcome.
Everyone, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I'm Lakey, and I'm the team advisor for JSW School of Law, Bhutan. Wish all the best to both teams and looking forward to a great match.
Thank you very much. And as well, the two other coach, we send them greetings for the team, so Pema Chuki and Achis Gong. Would like now to remind the topic. The topic which was sent was government must prohibit real-time biometric surveillance in public spaces. Time to do the allocation of positions. So we'll share my screen. So can you see my screen? Yes?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see.
Great. So as you can see, there are two possibilities for each team to be in favor or to be against the motion. The team will be in favor, will be starting the match with the first introduction. For this match, the team will be in favor will be the University of Chile and will be starting the first introduction. As a consequence, Jigme Wangchuck School of Law in Bhutan will be against the motion. So now you will have 5 minutes to review your notes. And then we'll hear the introduction by the team from Santiago de Chile. So we are done with the 5 minutes of preparation. So before we start, I would like to remind everybody that you will have to look at the camera of my colleague for the visual cues. So you will see yellow card when it will be 30 seconds left in the speaking time, and the red card when time is up, and you can, of course, finish your sentence. Is advised to not start another one. Otherwise, you might be penalized by the judge. So now, I will give the floor to the University of Chile for your introduction. You have 4 minutes.
Thank you. Robert William was in his garden with his 2 young daughters when police arrested him for a robbery he didn't commit. He was handcuffed in front of his family and locked up for 30 hours. A faulty facial recognition algorithm mistook his face for that of a thief in blurry security footage. Welcome, honorable judge and colleagues. For clarify, we define real-time biometric surveillance as the live capture and identification of individuals in public areas using artificial intelligence. We raise this debate not as a matter of policing efficiency, but as a defense of the presumption of innocence. Our position is simple. Real-time biometric surveillance is inherently disproportionate and violates human dignity. It is indiscriminate mass surveillance that turns every citizen into a permanent suspect. The main problem with real-time biometric surveillance today is that it goes against human dignity itself. For example, a 2025 study conducted by the UK government revealed that Black women and along with Asian people had a higher rate of false positives. This reflects that the use of biometric surveillance will mean treating human beings as instruments, as they will be used for any political purpose rather than as ends in themselves. This, coupled with the interest-based and algorithm errors of the technology, will contradict international human rights standards, particularly Article 11 of the American Convention on Human Rights, which requires that every human being be treated with honor and dignity. The second problem with using biometric recognition in public space is the violation of the right of privacy. International human law requires that any state interference be the least intrusive measure possible by activating a camera to locate a suspect. Millions of innocent people are forced to participate in digital lineup. This creates a chilling effect. If citizens know they are being tracked in real time, they will stop participating in protests and associating freely. A similar situation exists in China, where the government uses this technology to persecute and censor opponents, eroding democratic space. Precisely for this reason, the European Union AI Act, the global benchmark for AI regulation, classifies real-time biometric identification in public space as unacceptable risk under Article 5. The Act recognizes that this surveillance is fundamentally incompatible with human rights and, in particular, with people's privacy. In conclusion, the position will invite you to trade fundamental freedom for a failed sense of security, but an efficient police force cannot be built by destroying the due process. We cannot give our fundamental right to privacy in public space to flawed machine. The only proportionally objective and legal answer is an absolute prohibition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we hear the introduction as well by the team from Jigme Wangchuck School of Law. You have as well 4 minutes.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Then I shall begin my opening statement in 3, 2, and 1. Esteemed judges and respected opponents, somewhere in the world right now, a person is missing and every second counts. This is where surveillance tech shined back in 2018, helping a 14-year-old boy with mental disabilities reunite with his family back in India. Therefore, we oppose this motion with 3 points. Firstly, the right to life. Second, legitimate aims. And thirdly, regulation, not prohibition. First, states have the positive obligation to protect the lives of their citizens. According to Article 6 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and its corresponding General Comment number 36, states have the duty, everybody has the inherent right to life. And similarly, in Article 2 of the European Convention on Human Rights, it places a positive obligation on states to protect the lives of everyone in their jurisdiction. This duty has been highlighted in several cases. Firstly, in Osman versus UK, the court said that the state must take reasonable measures to protect the lives and prevent risks to life. And in Kontrova versus Slovakia, the court found a violation of Article 2 where the state failed to act on warnings of domestic violence, later leading to deaths. These practices clearly justify the use of useful technology like surveillance to protect countless lives. A lighter example is the 2017 Champions League finals, where this technology was used to check audiences against a list of wanted individuals. What the proposition's absolutism is denying are these real and actual benefits. Now, second, privacy in public has never been absolute, and Article 8.2 of the European Convention on Human Rights clearly allows proportionate surveillance, as privacy has never been absolute in public spaces. To demonstrate, in cases such as von Hanover versus Germany and Katz versus US, the court held that a person's perception of privacy is presumed to be lowered when they are in a shared environmental space. As such, the court in Bridges versus South Wales Police have held that the court, most importantly, in Article 8.2 of the European Convention on Human Rights, it has said that surveillance technology is allowed, where firstly, it is prescribed by the law, second, it is necessary in a democratic society, and third, it serves a legitimate aim, such as for national security, for crime prevention, and for protecting citizens. The proposition must overcome this legal standard, which they cannot, because the law has already considered this technology as necessary and useful. Now, third, the proposition's call for an absolute ban is senseless because the law itself has only ever called for clearer regulation. In Bridges versus South Wales Police, the court said that the police was using the technology in an unclear manner, not that surveillance tech is inherently bad. In Lukin versus Russia, the state was criticized for its surveillance on a lone peaceful protester, not that the tech itself is unlawful. This clearly shows that where the tech is proportionately and used in the name of public interest, it is allowed and even encouraged. Even modern legislation on these technologies do not say that there needs to be a prohibition on it. The EU AI Act and the General Data Protection Regulations have clearly demonstrated that in the name of public interest and where there are urgent crisis-related situations such as missing people or for terrorism attacks, these technologies are useful and needed. When the actors adopt a balanced approach that considers both the rights and the public interest of all, this technology is useful, necessary, and needed. As such, we oppose the motion once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now we are moving to the first rebuttals. So I give the floor to the team from the University of Chile for your first rebuttal. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. The opposition emphasized how useful this technology can be in specific cases, such as locating missing person or facilitating family reunification. And while those benefits may exist, they fail to address a crucial point. This limited advantage come with profound and systematic harms. First, the technology does not only interfere with privacy, it fundamentally violates it. Article 17 of the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights protects individuals from arbitrary interference in their private life. But real-time biometric surveillance is, by definition, broad, constant, and indiscriminate. It does not target suspect, it targets everyone. However, the problem goes even further. Second, it also violates the principle of equality before law, which is clearly established in Article 26 of the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights and Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This provision guarantees that all individuals must be treated equally and protected from discrimination. Yet, biometric systems are not neutral. They rely on biased data and have been shown to disproportionately misidentify and target minority groups. This creates a system where some individuals are more surveilled, more exposed to error, and more vulnerable to state intervention, not because of their action, but because of who they are. We already see the root of this practice. For example, not only the case that my team said in the protests of Hong Kong in 2019, but also in the use of this biometric data in military campus. For example, the use of this data by the Israeli agents, the Israeli military forces. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now we hear as well the first rebuttal from the team from Jigme, Wangchuck, School of Law. You have as well 2 minutes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Then I shall begin in 3, 2, and 1. Honorable judges, I will address the affirmative's arguments with 3 rebuttals. First, the affirmative's claim that human dignity is violated because of biometric surveillance is simply incorrect. Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights does not prohibit surveillance. It regulates it. It explicitly allows interference where 3 conditions are met. 1, lawfulness. 2, legitimate aims, and 3, necessities in a democratic society. That is not an exception. That is the structure of the right. Second, the affirmative states that biometric surveillance will chill free speech and assembly, but democratic societies already permit some surveillance for public order. The Glukin case noted the lack of danger in that protest, that biometric-based surveillance there was disproportionate. It did not outlaw facial recognition in contexts involving real threats. Moreover, any facial deployment would be subject to oversight, warrants, audits, judicial review, minimizing chilling effects. The key is how surveillance tools are used, not an absolute prohibition. And lastly, the affirmative is of the opinion that less intrusive alternatives exist. But let us test that in reality. A missing child, thousands of individuals moving in real time. There are CCTV records, but they do not identify. Police search, but without direction. So only one tool answers the critical question instantly. Is that individual here right now? And that is real-time biometric surveillance. If no equally effective alternative exists, then under human rights law, the necessity requirement is satisfied. This is why we reaffirm our motion once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now we are moving to the second rebuttals. So we will hear first the second rebuttal by the University of Chile. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. The opposition is correct about one thing. The technology is not universally prohibited, but that does not mean it's acceptable. In fact, what we see in practice is that it frequently leads to arbitrary and harmful uses. Take a real-world example. In Israel, biometric surveillance technologies have reportedly been used by the military to identify and monitor Palestinian civilians. This is not a neutral or limited application. It is a system that enables targeted surveillance of a specific population. And this leads us directly to a fundamental issue, the violation of equality before the law. This principle is clearly established in, as I already said, Article 26 of the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights and Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which require that all individuals be treated equally and without discrimination. But when surveillance technologies are used disproportionately against certain groups, whether defined by ethnicity, nationality, or political context, that equality disappears. Some people become more monitored, more controlled, and more vulnerable than others. That is not law. That is a selective enforcement. For this reason, the motion should be approved. And beyond the regulation, this must be prohibited because it's a violation not only to privacy, but also to the equality before the law. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll hear as well the second rebuttal by the team from Jigme Wangchuck School of Law. You have 2 minutes as well.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Then I shall begin my rebuttal in 3, 2, and 1. Esteemed judges, the opposition has put forward the assertion that surveillance technology infringes on the freedom of people to assemble and have a private life. Well, the affirmative have stated that our motion calls for a complete infringement on the private rights of people. However, Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights regulates but does not prohibit the technology altogether. In addition, Article 51H of the EU AI Act does not prohibit real-time biometric identification. It prohibits it as a default, subject to 3 categories of exception. In other words, EU law, which is at the forefront of digital and technology laws, uses a ban with exceptions model, not an absolute ban at all. And secondly, the opposition has said that these algorithms are biased and that facial recognition will wrongly target minorities. Well, we accept that the targeting of minorities is a serious concern, but the legal response is not a prohibition of all technology. Under modern legal frameworks, including the GDPR, high-risk systems require impact assessment and accountability mechanisms and human oversight. For instance, the Equality Act of UK also requires impact assessments to prevent discrimination. Therefore, improving algorithmic accuracy and enforcing non-discrimination are the solutions, not a complete ban of a useful technology. And indeed, no human rights text explicitly orders a ban, they require proportionality instead. For instance, the EU AI Act bans general facial recognition, but expressly allows exceptions, showing lawmakers opted for regulation, not for prohibiting everything they see as risky. India's Supreme Court likewise upheld the Aadhaar surveillance system under law, rather than banning biometrics outright. Therefore, we uphold that the law does not mandate prohibition. It mandates smart limits, and that's exactly our position. We oppose the opposition's points once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now it is time to have the conclusions. So I'll give the floor to the University of Chile for your conclusion. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. I'll start in 3, 2, 1. Honorable judges, as we reach the conclusion of this match, the choice with the tribunal is not about the convenience of a tool, but about the fundamental survival of human dignity in the digital age. Throughout the match, the opposition has attempted to frame this as a simple matter of regulation, citing the European Union AI Act as a successful model. However, as my team acknowledges, that such framework does not exist. We must be clear. The mere existence of regulation does not guarantee compliance or protection. As we have seen in practice, even the more sophisticated rules are often bypassed, ignored, or manipulated when the infrastructure for mass control is already in place. The opposition case rests on the premise of security through exceptions, yet they fail to address the fundamental reality that real-time biometric surveillance is, by its nature, indiscriminate. As my teammates have demonstrated, a few successful cases of locating individuals cannot justify the anonymity of an entire population. They have defeated their narrative by proving that this technology violates the heart of the Article 17 of the ICCPR, the Article 12 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, scanning every face without consent in public spaces, ceases to protect its citizens and begins to treat them as permanent suspects. As we highlighted with the chilling examples of political repression on Hong Kong and discriminatory military use in Israel, once this infrastructure is built, it inevitably expands into a tool for social and ethnic targeting, regardless of the regulations of paper. Yes, we have shown that this technology does not only interfere with privacy, it obliterates the principle of equality before the law. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we hear as well the conclusion by the team from Jigme Wangchuck School of Law. You have as well 2 minutes.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
I shall begin in 3, 2, 1. Honorable judges and respected opponents, think of the empty chair at the dinner table. Not empty by choice, but empty because someone went missing and never reached home. Biometric surveillance is not about watching strangers. In India, it helped police quickly recognize and reunite a 14-year-old boy with mental disabilities who had gone missing, bringing him back to the seat where he belonged. Throughout this debate, the proposition has framed this as a choice between safety and freedom. We reject that framing entirely. This debate is not about whether safeguards are needed. We agree they are. The question is whether we abandon a lawful life saving capability or regulate it responsibly within the framework the law already provides. The law is clear. The answer is clear. The European Court of Human Rights, the Court of Appeal in Bridges, the EU Parliament in the AI Act, the Supreme Court of India in Puttaswamy, not one of them called for prohibition. Every one of them called for proportionate, accountable regulation. ECHR Article 2 does not permit the state to close its eyes when it has the ability to see. ECHR Article 8.2 does not prohibit surveillance, it disciplines it. The EU AI Act does not ban facial recognition. It channels it towards the uses that save lives and away from those that violate dignity. So, honorable judges, for the child whose face might be the only signal before they disappear, for the victims who could be saved if recognized at the right moment, we ask you to rule against this motion, not because privacy does not matter, because it is not the only thing that matters. Because the law you know, the law you study, the law that governs every state in this room demands that both rights be honored. So if harm can be stopped, it should not be ignored. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we just heard the two conclusions. So it means from now, you are not under evaluation by the judge. So congratulations. You just got to your fourth match in the competition, and that was a very brilliant one for the two teams, so well done from the organizers. And as well, in a few seconds, we will collect your feedback. That will be done by my colleague, Mr. Sanchez Cortes Macias. But before doing so, I would like to remind some elements as well for the audience. So these two universities have shown during the competition a lot of, I would say, skills concerning the debate and the history. This is as well the third time the University of Chile is participating. They started in the competition, the university, not the team, but the university in 2024. And for Jigme Wangchuck School of Law, this year they are entering the Inter-University Law Debate Tournament. For the Chilean University, it is the second time they reach the round of 16, and it is the first time for the team from Bhutan. Now I will give the floor to my colleague, Mr. Sanchez Cortes Macias.
Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations on today's match. I hope that you are proud of your performance. And as usual, we would like to collect your impressions on today's match and also regarding the topic research. So I will first give the floor to Mr. Mondaca from the University of Chile.
Hi. The topic was very antithetical to today reality, and it was very challenging to find information and question the reality and the new challenge. It was a challenge that personally helped me a lot in my development, and thanks for your opportunity.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Ms. Dema from Jigme Wangchuck School of Law.
Once again, hello everybody. So regarding today's match impressions, I would first like to congratulate our opposition team for delivering a very good and amazing performance, highlighted by very good points as well regarding this topic. And regarding the research of this particular topic, I would say that since like biometric surveillance is like an emerging topic for now, and because the laws are also quite relatively new compared to other technologies, it was both a challenge as well as opening the doors to a new area of learning for all of my team members. But nonetheless, we had a lot of fun with it, and our advisors were a very amazing support during this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Ms. Reyes.
Thank you. Well, I think that was a funny topic, very interesting. We were, for example, I like it more the opposition in this topic specific, but was really entertaining. Find the information, fun cases. We found a lot of cases in favor and in contrary to this position. So was really interesting and was very different to the previous topic that we have seen in this match, because it's something more technological, more, I don't know how to say it, but it's a problem that is currently happening around the world, and not only in the cases we use as example, but in other, in a good way and in a bad way. So was a very complex topic too. But was a really great match, and the opposite team taught us some ideas that we didn't think about, or information that we didn't think as our principal source. So I think that was really good for learning about new topics.
Thank you very much. Now I will give the floor to Ms. Harden.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So this topic, while technical, like all the other debate topics that we've had so far, I felt was a bit more approachable because we had to look at the social aspect of and real-time biometric surveillance and how it actually affects people. So that was quite interesting to dive into. Besides that, I had a lot of fun with my teammates learning about this topic together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Ms. Loyola Alvarez.
Well, I think this was a great debate, great opponents. I'll leave with the sensation of, well, we did it. It was fun, and it was fun to investigate also. This is such a current topic that we didn't have much information. There wasn't so much cases. They were very far from our land, from our country. All of them were in the other side of the world. But even though that happened, we thought that it was like going back to the basics. It was something that we had to relearn many things and talk about human rights, for example, and that was something that we didn't talk in the previous debates. So I really like this. I think it will help me with my thesis that I'm currently working about AI and due process. So I'm going with a very nice feeling that this was great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And last, I will give the floor to Ms. Yangdong.
Hello, am I audible and visible?
Yes.
So, hello once again. So, regarding my impression about the match, so I feel like we've done very well, both the teams. We had done a lot of researches and we had conducted a lot of practice matches, and I think we were able to deliver to our best. And likewise to the opponents, they were very great. And regarding the topic, I think, like everyone mentioned, the topic was quite technical, but at the same time, it was fun and it was very challenging. But then, of course, we were able to we were able to find the right sources and materials, and also the opponents as well. They their points were similar to what we had researched on for the motion as well. So I think this topic was quite interesting topic to work on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And once again, I would like to thank everyone for your feedback. And now we will proceed to the networking session. So my first question for both teams will be, what opportunity, program, or initiative at your university has most contributed to your development as law students? So for this question, I will first give the floor to the students from the Jigme Wangchuck School of Law, starting with Miss Youngton.
So regarding this question, so our school has a society called the Moot Court Society, and this program would definitely be the first thing that has helped us shape our the way we argue, the way we debate, the way it has helped us a lot regarding our oral advocacy skills and legal research and writing as well. So I think this Moot Court Society would be the best answer for this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I will give the floor to Ms. Aden.
It's similar to what Kim Youngdon she said, the Moot Court Society definitely. But if I were to look at the courses that I've learned over the years, particularly international law, which we learned in our second year, and also penal law, I think this shaped me in realizing how, in a way, effective law is and how it permeates every aspect of our lives, and also at times how flawed it is and what we can do to perhaps be able to, in a way, rectify it or be able to grow into individuals who can hopefully make it better someday. So besides that, I am in my third year right now, as I said before, and I am learning that admin law and constitutional law, these are subjects that have been very interesting for me to learn as well, and I can definitely see them shaping how I think in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I give the floor to Ms. Dema.
Okay, so regarding the opportunities that have shaped me into the person that I'm today, the law student I am, well, as mentioned by my friends, because our community is quite small, we have this very invaluable club called the Moot Court Society, which is the stepping stone for most of the people here who are interested in these type of competitions. And in addition to this, we also hold several literature competitions as well, in which we have to give extempore speeches, or we are doing spell bees and even debates in that as well. And these little things have been very useful in giving me the in taking me in the right direction and making me the law student I am today. So big accolades for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I will give the floor to the team of the University of Chile, starting with Ms. Loyola Alvarez.
Well, our university participates in many international and national tournaments, but for me, it wasn't the international tournaments, the ones that it started with. We formed a student association of litigation, and we practically do this ourselves. We don't have any coaches. We have to be begging for professors to teach us and to help us. This university, for me, it's great, but many of our teachers are doing all this other stuff. Many are ministers and such like that. So I really appreciated the opportunity of this association that we worked and built from zero. And that's what I really like and has helped me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'll give the floor to Ms. Reyes.
Thank you. Well, I think almost the same than Javiera, but with the difference that I think that the university have great programs, is true, great teachers too, but I have learned more from my teammates and for a space outside the university. For example, in organized groups, not only in the litigation society, but for example, in the Model Unida Nations Society in Chile and Latin America. So for me, had been other people that have lead me to, for example, this opportunity. Was because I knew Javiera, I knew Alejandro, and the Society of Litigation. So I think that for me, more than something from the university is the people, because as Javier already said, we don't have coaches, not many professors help us, is a work that we make together. So for me, it's my teammates and the people that I have met along the way.
Thank you very much. And last, I will give the floor to Mr. Mundaka.
Thank you. I echo my classmate sentiment about the litigation society, which provide us with constant support in the members and open doors to the new opportunities and challenges such as this one. It allows us to participate in tournament, question reality, and research relevant questions. And this is the program most important for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I will ask a second question. So, what is a common misconception about your legal system, country, or region that you would like to clarify or nuance? So, this time we will start with the team from the University of Chile. So, you are free to determine who wants to answer first to this question.
It's a very difficult question. We are together, so we are debating about this topic, but I'm not really sure. I think, for example, we say that we don't use the jurisprudence, but it's really important. In the civil code, it's like, no, it's not important. The most important is the law. But I think that is something that has been useful to us in the career and the debates are the cases. And I think that is more important, and it's a misconception about the law in our country. But I'm not sure. I don't know what my teammates think, but I think it's that.
Yes, it's just that as we see it from the inside, we don't really know what other people may think about our legal system. So that's why the question was so out of the blue for us, and we didn't know what to say, what to answer.
I can help a little bit. Is it true that you had to change the constitution recently?
We tried, but we failed. Was a complex process, was a double process because we have to try on this topic, both failed, obviously, but was very entertaining because was young people and old people, honestly, debating about, for example, more rights, more actual right, not only, for example, the basic that are in the human rights and the Declaration of Human Rights, but for example, access to internet. All the discussion were in the new constitution that was failed, but was a complex process. I think that was something cultural and social and was complex in so many aspects, not only in the law, because it was not only the rights and what the law says, but was a chain of mentality, a chain cultural, so was a complex process, a failed one, sadly. But we have expectation that in the future we could change this constitution because how it was formed or the change that you can make are very limits. We have so strong limits, so we almost can't change anything. So I think that these two process can help in the future to make a real change that can contribute to the Chilean society. I don't know what my teammates can say, but I can say that.
Yeah.
Yes, I have one thing to add.
Yes.
Sure. We try to make also reform our civil process. I don't know how you say that, but
The new code,
the new code.
the new civil process, yes.
Yes, and it didn't work. We know that it also, I mean, we want the process to be oral mostly. It is quicker, it ensures due process in many ways. And we had this new code that didn't work. So that's actually something that we really need to work on because in labor rights and labor code and in criminal code it changed, but we're one step behind in civil law.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And before giving the floor to the team from Bhutan, would Mr. Mundaka like to add something else?
No, I echo with the words of my partners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then I will now give the floor to the team from the Jigme Wangchuck School of Law.
Hello once again. So regarding like our legal system, I think today I want to share a very like fun and interesting part of our legal system, which I think is like one of the best features of our constitution as well, which is the environmental mandates that we follow. Bhutan is a country that really, really, really loves its natural environment, and I'm very proud to say that we have successfully like conserved our environment all these years. Our constitution like makes every one of us a trusteeship to the environment, interconnecting us with not only the beauty of nature but its importance in our lives. And as a result, we have this very like unique provision that makes it a constitutional duty to protect the environment, which I think is one of the best parts of our constitution that is needed to be like highlighted to the world as well. Thank you.
And following along with what Yudin just shared, the Constitution states that states must ensure that 60% of all forest coverage must be ensured for all times to come, which I think is quite unique on our part. And moreover, I do not really know if this is a misconception or not, which I will be clarifying. But since our country, it follows the developmental philosophy of GNH, which my opponents and the judges might have heard of. This is also enshrined explicitly in the Constitution, that the state must ensure that GNH principles are followed. It means gross national happiness. So we aspire to achieve gross national happiness over gross domestic product.
I don't know whether this is an interesting answer to that question, but regarding one of the common misconceptions, this was the first thing that came to my mind when you asked that question. So, one is that since we are an Asian country, a lot of people are quite taken aback that we speak fluent English, and so to clarify that misconception, the thing is. Almost all the schools in our country are English medium, so we are taught majority of the subjects in English, and this is why we are able to speak English well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to add on to that. Besides what Kile Youngdon just shared, we do study English. However, Dzongkha is also prioritized as well, which is our national language. So almost all of the students or people in the country are bilingual in that instance.
Thank you very much for your answers to both questions. And now the networking session is over. From the Corax Foundation, we hope that you will keep in contact after today's match for whatever opportunity might arise or for any other topics. And now I will give the floor to Mr. Lorange.
Yes, so it was very interesting on the constitutional part, for example, for the two countries which are high mountain countries as well. You have very high mountain in both countries. I've been in Chile a long time ago. I haven't been in Bhutan. I've heard that in Bhutan the visitors as well need to contribute to the national budget. So it's something as well that I've heard about your country before visiting. So I hope to visit as well. And so now that was a match of the round of 16. So it means the winner of this match will meet another winner in the quarterfinals. We'll know about it next week. And we thank again the three judges who will be watching this match and rewatching this match maybe before finishing to assess the performance of the two teams. And of course, we'll publish after informing the teams first. So congratulations again to the two teams. We keep you contact, of course, and we encourage both teams to keep contact. I think maybe this is the only match of the history between among all the universities, all the competitions, to have a match between a team from Chile and a team from Bhutan. So enjoy this opportunity, this connection. I'm sure that you will learn a lot between the teams and to make, maybe friendship through the time. So don't hesitate to let us know if you want the Corax Foundation to facilitate the connection, for example. In any case, you already spoke for 1 hour, so we hope that this will continue. And on the side of the Corax Foundation, we would like to wish both teams a very good weekend, good evening in Bhutan, and a good rest of the day, rest of Friday in Chile. So many thanks again. I thank as well my colleagues for hosting the match with me, and we keep in touch and see you soon. Thank you very much.